When you hear One Big Beautiful Bill Act, it probably sounds like something you'd catch on C-SPAN right before falling asleep. But inside all that government jargon are real wins for business owners like you. Bigger deductions, smart planning, even a few tax breaks that might make you want to give your accountant a high five. And don't worry, this won't be a snooze fest. I've already trudged through the boring legalese so you can skip straight to the parts that actually affect your business. Welcome to the first episode of The Financially Savvy CEO. Well, hey there. I'm Kimberly Ferguson, CEO and founder of the Emerald Edge. And before we dive in, let's take a second to address the elephant in the room, the bill's name. The One Big Beautiful Bill Act, or OBBBA, which, let's be honest, sounds a little bit less like a serious tax bill and more like the word scramble that comes out of your mouth before you've had your first cup of coffee in the morning. But don't let the goofy name fool you. This bill is packed with big changes for business owners, changes that could impact how you invest, plan, and even think about your money. So grab your cup of coffee, preferably not the first one, so that your words don't come out like OBBBA. And let's break down what this bill actually means for you.
This is going to be interesting, huh?
Now, I get it. Tax legislation doesn't exactly scream must-watch YouTube content. It may sound like political fluff, the kind of thing that you'd have here on the news and immediately tune out. But tucked inside are some golden nugget opportunities that could impact your cash flow, your legacy, and even your everyday expenses.
Wow, now you've got my attention.
We're talking permanent tax breaks that actually reduce the yearly scramble, faster write-offs for investments that you're already making, and strategies that can protect your family's wealth down the road. Not exactly the kind of thing you want to snooze through, right?
I'm up.
And let's be real, no one's handing you a cheat sheet that says, here's what matters for you. So that's why I came in. My job isn't to turn you into a tax expert. You've got better things to do. It's to give you the clarity you need to spot the opportunities, avoid the traps, and keep building your business without tax code whiplash. So in this video, we're going to be breaking down which parts of the bill actually matter to small and mid-sized business owners, what kind of opportunities are opening up because of it, and what steps you can start considering now so that you're ready to benefit instead of playing catch up later. So whether you're buying equipment, paying state taxes, planning your estate, or just writing checks to charity, this bill touches your real life.
I know some of these words.
So let's start with the one that I think is probably the biggest win for business owners, and that's the ability to front load deductions on major purchases. Or in plain English, you can buy that equipment, vehicle, or technology upgrade and get the tax benefit this year instead of dragging it out over years, maybe over a decade.
This year?
Think about it like this. You wouldn't pay for a treadmill in monthly installments for 15 years, especially if you're only going to use it to hang your laundry on by the time you get to the third month. The same goes for your business equipment. With this bill, you can actually write off the full cost now, match the deduction with the year that you actually spent the money, and immediately improve your cash flow with the tax savings. So as an example, let's say that you run a construction company and you're finally able to invest in a $90,000 piece of machinery. Well, instead of depreciating that purchase over the next 7 to 15 years, you can actually deduct the whole thing this year. That's a major tax savings when you need it the most. So you can free up that cash to reinvest, hire, or finally take the vacation that you've been promising your wife since 2020.
A vacation?
This isn't just for heavy equipment either. It can apply for office technology, vehicles, even some improvements to your workspace. If it's an investment in your business's growth, chances are there's a way to accelerate the deduction.
That's a write-off.
That's a write-off?
Yeah.
Do you even know what a write-off is?
Yeah. It's when you buy something for your business and the government pays you back for it.
Oh, and who pays for it?
Nobody. You write it off.
Who writes it off?
I don't know. The write-off people.
Now, starting in 2025, the SALT cap, that's your state and local taxes, jumps from $10,000 up to $40,000, but only if your income is under $500. That's a pretty big deal if you live in those high tax states like California or New York, where 10K barely covers property taxes on a modest home. So we still don't know exactly how this will play with the state level PTET or pass-through entity tax workarounds that they've recently put into place. Or translation, don't count your deduction chickens before they hatch. But if you've been banging your head on that 10K ceiling, this is one to closely watch.
I mean, this could change everything.
So let's say you're a business in New York paying $25,000 in property and state income taxes. So under the old rules, you were capped at $10,000 for your deduction. With the new ones, you could potentially deduct the full $25,000. So that's $15,000 more in deductions, which lowers your taxable income. And yes, lowers your tax bill by $1,500 to $5,000, depending on your bracket. Finally, a little relief from states where taxes take bigger bites than brunchers in Manhattan. Pro tip, even if you don't live in a high tax state, don't ignore the SALT caps. With the new $40,000 limit, double check your totals. You might uncover deductions that you were missing.
How did you miss that?
Here's where things get fun. The One Big Beautiful Bill Act didn't just throw big ticket items at us like SALT and bonus depreciation. It also sprinkled in some niche deductions for specific industries. Think of these like Easter eggs in the tax code. You don't always see them, but once you find them, you're thrilled you looked. For example, teachers can now deduct more classroom expenses. Finally, a nod to the fact that Target runs for school supplies are basically a professional hazard.
Happy Teacher Appreciation.
First responders and certain healthcare professionals get enhanced deductions tied to work-related expenses. Small business owners in select industries may see expanded credits and write-offs for training, safety, and community-based initiatives.
Geez, give me some credits.
Now imagine you run a childcare center. Under the new bill, you may qualify for additional deductions tied to safety upgrades or staff training programs. What used to be just another expense could now put money back in your pocket at tax time. That's not just nice, that's strategic cash flow management.
Tell them about the cash flow.
And pro tip, these niche deductions aren't like a one-size-fits-all. They're highly targeted. So don't assume that you're missing out, but don't assume that you're qualified either.
Don't assume nothing, sweetheart.
So make sure you sit down with one of our tax strategists who can scan your industry for hidden opportunities. Because sometimes the line items you've been ignoring could be the ones that save you thousands.
Thousands.
Finally, proof that generosity pays. Historically, if you weren't itemizing your deductions, your charitable donations didn't give you much tax love. But now, under the OBBBA, non-itemizers can claim a limited deduction for cash contributions to qualified charities too. Now, we aren't talking unlimited write-offs here, more like $1,000 for individuals or $2,000 for married couples. But think of it as the IRS finally saying, fine, you can have your latte money back if you're helping the community.
I think I could be a philanthropist. A kick-ass philanthropist.
So let's say you're a business owner who donates $500 to your local food bank. In the past, unless you itemized, that donation didn't move the needle at tax time. Now, you'll actually see a real deduction on your tax return. And while it's not going to wipe out your tax bill, it does encourage everyone to be a little bit more generous. So now, your local nonprofit wins. And so do you.
Anything else? I'm feeling generous.
Now, this one might sound like a punchline, but it's real. The OBBBA created a new tax advantage savings account nicknamed Trump accounts. Yes, really. Think of them as a mashup between a Roth IRA and a 529 plan, designed to encourage long-term savings for kids. So here's kind of how it works. Parents and grandparents can contribute after-tax dollars into these accounts. The money grows tax-free, and withdrawals later for qualifying expenses are also tax-free. Translation: it's a way to sock away money for your kids or grandkids with Uncle Sam's blessing.
Thanks, Sam.
Babies born between 2025 and 2028 also get a $1,000 federal seed contribution with up to $5,000 in annual contributions allowed. So at 18, it rolls into a traditional IRA. Employers can even contribute as a retention perk for their employees. If nothing else, it's like a starter retirement account for the next generation. That one $1,000 contribution from your friendly neighborhood feds, invested well, could literally turn into 7 figures by their retirement. And that's nothing to sneeze at. So let's say that you actually put $5,000 a year into one of these accounts for your child starting at age 5. By the time they hit 25, that nest egg could fund grad school, a down payment on a house, or seed money for their first business.
That's pretty good.
Yeah.
Pretty good.
And the growth along the way isn't eaten alive by taxes. For business owners, this is more than a family perk. It's a legacy tool. It lets you channel wealth into the next generation while enjoying tax-advantaged growth along the way. And if you've ever wanted a way to turn birthday money from grandma into something more powerful than another Lego set, well, this is it.
That's a pretty good return on your investment.
Okay, let's zoom out for a second. Why should you care about this giant piece of tax law with the world's most ridiculous acronym? Because it's not just about tax compliance, it's about strategy. This bill changes the levers that you can pull to free up cash, to protect your wealth, to create breathing room in your business. And the real kicker is that entrepreneurs who get ahead aren't the ones who just read the highlights or the headlines. They're the ones who know how to actually use the law to build businesses that are more profitable, more sustainable, and less stressful. So if you've been putting off planning because tax law feels overwhelming, this is your sign to stop winging it, because these aren't just line items on a tax return. They're tools that can shape the way your business grows, funds itself, and sets you up for the future. And yeah, this is exactly the kind of thing that we handle inside of our tax strategy calls. We'll take your real numbers, your real business model, and show you how to actually apply these changes. Not in theory, but in practice.
How do you do it?
Tax law changes like the One Big Beautiful Bill aren't just background noise. They're opportunities, and they don't come around every day. And the most successful CEOs aren't the ones who hustle harder. They're the ones who learn how to pull the right levers at the right time.
Pull the lever, Kronk.
You don't need to memorize every code section. You don't need to turn yourself into an accountant or tax strategist. You just need to stop leaving money on the table and start treating tax strategy as a growth tool, not a compliance chore. And the best part? When you get clarity on what these changes mean for your business, you gain more than deductions. You gain margin, breathing room, peace of mind, the kind of confidence that lets you focus on scaling your business instead of stressing out about the IRS.
Being audited by the IRS.
If you haven't already, this is your chance to sit down with us for a free tax strategy call. We'll walk through your numbers, your goals, and the impact of these new changes, and we'll show you where you could be saving money right now. No cookie cutter advice here, no guesswork, just clarity and a plan that helps you keep more of what you earn. If you've ever wondered whether you're taking full advantage of the tax code or worried that you're missing opportunities that could be fueling your business, well, this call is your next step. Link is below. I'd love to meet with you. This has been the Financially Savvy CEO, where spreadsheets are secretly sexy, numbers pack more punch than your double espresso, and every decision builds not just a business, but a legacy. Stay sharp, stay strategic, and I'll see you in my next video.